What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's real estate lesson, REI weekly lesson. My name is Greg Helbeck, and on this video, I'm going to teach you how to get a seller to commit who is committable. Remember that. How to get a seller to commit who is committable. So big barrier I see new investors and even experienced investors. Sometimes we fall guilty of this at Velocity House Buyers. Something we fall guilty of is not getting a clear commitment from a seller. I'll say that again, a clear commitment from a seller. So clear commitment from a seller. So a lot of sellers, and this is mostly applicable in the real estate business, but this happens in anything, in any industry, anytime you're in sales, is people love to drag their feet. They don't love to commit to stuff. A lot of salespeople, if they're not trained, they just go for the yes. They just push for the yes. They move them to the yes. They get them to say yes. Are you thirsty? Yes. Would you like some water? Yes. And that is complete bullshit. So in our business, and something I've learned from people and that we teach and now that we do in our active real estate business is we get sellers to give us commitments. And a commitment in our business is not necessarily a yes, I need to sell you my property. A commitment is a clearly defined next step. I'll say that one more time. A commitment is a clearly defined next step. And this works if you're dealing with sellers. This also works if you're dealing with buyers. I'm also a landlord. This also works if you're dealing with tenants. You got to get a commitment on a clear next step with the prospect, right? So at the end of the day, the best way to set a commitment in this business, and I'll use an example in this video too, is you want to get that commitment as crystal clear as possible. So instead of saying like, and I'll say that one more time, you want to get your commitment as crystal clear and as specific as possible. So instead of saying like, hey, I'll call you Wednesday. Okay, sounds good. That's not clear. Hey, Bob, when is going to be a convenient time on Wednesday that I can call you? I don't know, 3 o'clock. So Bob, Wednesday at 3 o'clock, are you available for me to call you and we can simply just have a 5-minute conversation? Because by that point, you've already spoken to your wife about the decision you have to make regarding this property. And on Wednesday at 3 o'clock, I will call you and we will simply just decide if this makes sense to take our offer or if this doesn't make sense to take our offer. But at the end of the day, after Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we will either know whether we're going to do business or whether we're not going to do business. Is that enough time, Bob? Is that something that we can agree to right now? Wednesday at 3 o'clock or 3:30, whatever I said. Yes, that works. Okay, so I'm going to call you Wednesday at 3 o'clock and we're going to have that conversation. Real quick, if I don't get you Wednesday at 3 o'clock, what should we do after that? Like, what if I can't get you Wednesday at 3 o'clock, what should we do after that? Or where should we go from there? So you want to actually see if the seller's full of crap by asking them what will happen if you can't get in touch with them. And then a lot of motivated sellers or reasonable sellers in California will say, no, you're good. You can call me Wednesday at 3 o'clock. I'll be available. I'm not working. I got nothing going on, whatever. So, hey, what's going to happen if I can't get in touch with you on Wednesday at 3 o'clock? And then you want them to tell you what they think. Oh, well, I mean, you can just call me again, which is kind of bullshit. Usually they'll be like, nope, you're good. Wednesday, 3 o'clock works. I know you're going to call. And then bam, on Wednesday at 3 o'clock, you got to call them. You cannot kick the can down the road. You got to do what you say you're going to do. And you got to make sure you have on your phone, or if you have a team on your team's phones or in your CRMs, there is a clear, appointment set for that call Wednesday at 3 o'clock. So you got to just get as specific as possible, because if you don't set commitments, what will happen is a lot of the prospects that you're trying to help, ultimately, if you're in sales, you're going to kick the can down the road. They're like, oh, not now, later, oh, not now, well, maybe next week, well, maybe next month, blah, 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 blah. And you're going to just be like, oh my God, I got all these deals, but no one wants to sell. Oh, I don't know what's going on. It's because you're not setting commitments, right? Not easy to do, but once you start setting commitments and you start getting good, and most importantly, you get comfortable at setting commitments and you understand that commitments are ultimately going to get you to the truth. Because you can set a commitment and the commitment doesn't need to be, hey, we're going to do business. The commitment could be, hey, I'm going to call you Tuesday at 2:30, and I just want to confirm that we're not going to be doing business together, because you told me that you're probably not going to take the offer, which is fine because there's no pressure. But why don't we get on the phone Tuesday at 2:30, assuming you have the time, and do you have that time available? Yes, you do. Okay, cool. Tuesday at 2:30, we're just going to decide on that call that it's most likely not going to work out in terms of me buying your house. And we'll just get clear on that decision. And then, if there's anything else I could do to help you, I'd love to do that, right? So you just want to get clear on what the next steps are and get the seller to agree that you can take those next steps. And you want to have little micro commitments. When you have a bunch of micro commitments, you get the macro commitment, which is you buying a property and hopefully making a profit, right? So like I said earlier, I'm going to use an example on this. I used a little bit of like another example earlier, but I'm going to use one more example. So let's pretend that you have a seller, and actually, I'll tell you a deal. I'll tell you a deal we're doing right now. So we have a deal right now that we have an accepted offer on. and the seller was shopping the price. He was like, I'm gonna get like 5 offers and I'm gonna sell to the highest bidder, blah, 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 blah. And you know, we had no way to really have a competitive advantage to get the lowest price possible because there was other bidders and we had no control over that. So the commitment that Brett and I set with the seller was that we want to have the last look, right? We want to get a commitment from the seller that we have the last look, which means that once the seller gets all the other offers from all the other buyers, he gave us a commitment. And the way that we said this was, hey, Mr. Seller, once you're done getting all the offers from all the investors, including us, can you commit to giving us the last look on Friday at 3 o'clock? And then on Friday at 3 o'clock, we'll get on the phone and we'll either be able to match the offer or beat the offer. And if that's the case, can you commit to selling us the property? So that was 2 commitments. Number 1, can you commit to giving us the last look? And number 2, if we can meet or match or beat that offer, can you commit to selling us the property? So 2 small commitments ended up getting us an accepted offer, and now we're going forward with that property. So you got to get good at commitments. It's very, very important, and you need to understand the fine line on how to make a commitment without sounding pushy, because you don't want to come off as pushy, but at the same time, you don't want to be like someone who just is like, okay, I'll call you next week. I'll call you next week. I'd rather be a little more aggressive, honestly, than be like, you know, just dragging all these deals out, or as attorneys would say, dragging all these files out. So make sure you're setting commitments. Watch this video more than once if you want to just rinse and repeat this so you can learn it faster. Oh, and I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Greg Helbeck. If you're watching this late in the video, I've bought well over 100 houses. I've done a lot of real estate deals in 2 of the toughest markets in America, San Diego and the New York City suburb area, so not easy to do business over there. Done a lot of deals. I've been doing this business full-time since 2015. And my goal in this video is to just provide as much free information as I can to hopefully help you, the viewer, get better at real estate investing, whether you're new or whether you're experienced, or if you're brand new, get started in the business, and hopefully you can watch these videos and get value. So my one favor is, if you do get value from this video, or if you've gotten value from this video since it's the end, if you can like the video and subscribe, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel. So once again, like the video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel by pushing the button. It would mean a lot to me. That's how we grow our YouTube channel. And my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers in the next 90 days. The best way to do that for you, the viewers, the best way to help me get there is by subscribing and liking. I'll see you on the next video, and make sure you set those commitments.